Sai Ram students, today we shall take the first poem, that is Upagupta, written by one of the greatest poets, that is Rabindranath Tagore. So what is the name of the poem? Upagupta. Upagupta. So it was written by Rabindranath Tagore. Written by Rabindranath Tagore. So you know his name, how famous he was, correct? So we recall his name every day in the evening, every day in the morning, correct? So he wrote our national anthem, that is Jana Gana Mana, correct? So Rabindranath Tagore, he was a Bengali writer, a poet, a philosopher and a composer. He was born on 7th May 1861 at Kolkata and died on 7th August 1941. And he was an awardee of Nobel Prize. He was awarded with the Nobel Prize for Literature in 1913 for his work, literary work, Gitanjali. So what is Gitanjali? It is a collection of poems, correct? Then, now come to the poem, Upagupta. Upagupta, written by Rabindranath Tagore. So in the first paragraph, introduction part, the story is given. So what is the story of Upagupta? Who was Upagupta? This poem is about the story of a Buddhist monk. Monk means sannyasi, correct? Sannyasi. The other gender of monk, that is nun. N-U-N. Monk, the other gender, nun. So he was, who was Upagupta? He was a Buddhist monk. A disciple of Lord Buddha. Who is a disciple? That is a follower, a student of Lord Buddha. That means he was a Buddhist monk. And the dancing girl of Mathura. So it is a story of Buddhist monk Upagupta and dancing girl of Mathura. That is the name of that dancing girl is Vasavadatta. So she was a famous and beautiful dancing girl. She was proud of her beauty, youth and her wealth. So she felt very proud of her beauty and wealth and youth. What was he, Upagupta? He was an ascetic. Ascetic means hermit. An epitome of kindness. What is epitome? Epitome means personification. Model. Personification, model, or he is the representation. A symbol. Epitome means a symbol. So Upagupta was the epitome of what? Kindness. He was very kind-hearted man. Wisdom. He was a wise man. And selflessness. He was not selfish. He was famous for selflessness. Why? Because he was an ascetic. He was a monk. He sacrificed everything for the sake of the society. He sacrificed his selfish nature and became selfless, service-minded person, and he lived for the sake of others' welfare. So one dark night, while walking, Vasavadatta stumbles over the body of Upagupta, who was lying on the dusty ground. This is the story. One day, Upagupta was lying on the ground he was sleeping, and Vasavadatta, while walking, stumbles over the body of, stumble means edav, slip in walking, edavutala, kalige taagta avanu. Next, see, come to the poem. Open page number 24. Poem name Upagupta, Rabindranath Tagore. See the picture, you can understand. Buddhist monk was sleeping, and beside him lady is there, and she holds what? A lamp. First stanza, see. I think you have the textbook. Upagupta, the disciple of Buddha. Who was Upagupta? He was the disciple, student of Buddha, a follower of Buddha. Lay asleep. Lay means, lie means rest on something. Malagirtane. Lay asleep. Lie, lay, laying. I gave the present tense. Present tense lie, past tense lay, past participle laying. So lay, asleep. He was not awake. He was sleeping, asleep. Where? On the dust, on the dusty ground. Dust by the city wall of Mathura. So where was he sleeping one night? He was sleeping by the city wall of Mathura, on the dusty ground. Who was sleeping? Who was sleeping? Upagupta. When? One day, night, it was night. Lamps were all out. Now the poet described the condition of that place or atmosphere or that night. Lamps were all out, means it was dark, it was night, everyone was asleep. Doors were all shut, all the people closed their doors, and they were sleeping. And stars were all hidden. Stars means, where are the stars? In the sky. Were all hidden. Something hid the stars. What is that? By the murky sky of August. Murky means, it's not given there. Murky means dark. Murky sky, dark sky, cloudy sky, cloudy. ಮೋಡ ಕವಿದಂತಹ ಆಕಾಶ, ಇಡೀ ನಕ್ಷತ್ರಗಳನ್ನು ಮುಚ್ಚಿದೆ ಅದು. ನಕ್ಷತ್ರಗಳಿಂದ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಬೆಳಕು ಬರ್ತಾ ಇತ್ತು, ಈಗ ಅದು ಬರುವುದಿಲ್ಲ, ಕತ್ತಲೆ, ಪೂರ್ಣ ಕತ್ತಲೆ. ಸೊ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಸ್ ವೇರ್ ಆಲ್ ಹಿಡನ್ ಬೈ ದ ಮರ್ಕಿ ಸ್ಕೈ ಆಫ್ ಆಗಸ್ಟ್. ಸೊ ಇಟ್ ವಾಸ್ ಡ್ಯೂರಿಂಗ್ ದ ಟೈಮ್ ಆಫ್ ಆಗಸ್ಟ್. ಇಟ್ ವಾಸ್ ದ ರೈನಿ ಸೀಸನ್. So there is no light. Everywhere we see what? Experience what? Darkness. So in that dark night, Upagupta was lying by the side of Mathura wall, by the city wall of Mathura. He was lying there, he was sleeping there. I think you got the first stanza meaning. Then come to the second stanza. Whose feet were those tinkling with the anklets? Whose feet? Foot singular, feet plural. Whose feet? Yara padagalu. Yavadake? Were those tinkling with the anklets? What is anklet? What is anklet? A jewelry worn to the ankle. Ankle. So anklets, tinkling with the anklets. That means she came there. Vasavadatta was coming with the sound of what? Anklets. She wore anklets. See, tinkling means making a pleasant metallic sound. What was the metallic sound? That is the sound produced by the anklets. So she was wearing the anklets. While walking, that anklets make sound. So feet were those tinkling with the anklets, touching his heart. The sound of the anklet, the noise of the anklet, the pleasant sound of the anklet touched his heart. Whose heart? Upagupta's heart touching his breast. Of a sudden, all of a sudden he heard, the meaning of the sentence is, all of a sudden he heard the sound of the anklets while Vasavadatta was walking. He heard the sound of anklets. He woke up startled. Who woke up? Upagupta woke up. Where was he sleeping? By the city wall of Mathura, listening or hearing the sound of the anklets. He woke up. How? Startled. Startled means surprised. Ascharyaದಿಂದ ಎದ್ದು ಕೂತ್ಕೊಳ್ತಾನೆವ. And light from a, ನೋಡ್ತಾನೆ, he opened his eyes and light from a woman's lamp. A woman was coming towards him with a lamp, and that lamp struck his forgiving eyes. Strike. Strike means hit. The light from the lamp of the lady, that is Vasavadatta, struck his what kind of eye? Forgiving eyes. Forgiving means here compassionate. Forgiving means compassionate, loving, caring, forgiving. It's a merciful, excusing. So he was very merciful person. He was very compassionate person. He was very loving person. He was very kind person. So that light struck his compassionate, merciful, forgiving eyes. He woke up. I think he got. Next, forgiving means kshamisuvantaha anta. It was, then he could discover her, then he could understand who is that person. It was the dancing girl. So who was that girl? Dancing girl. That is Vasavadatta. So who held the lamp? Vasavadatta. It was the dancing girl. Starred with the devils. Starred means shining like stars. Her jewels, she wore many jewels. Those jewels were shining like stars. Starred with the jewels, she was shining like, her jewels are shining like stars. That means, that shows her richness. That shows her wealth. Her jewels proved that she was a very rich woman. Starred with the jewels, wearing a pale blue mantle. Mantle means given, meaning is given loose cloak, worn especially in the past, loose cloak or melangi anta heltare nodi. Correct? So, wearing, she was wearing pale. Pale means lacking in color. Pale, lacking in color. She was wearing pale blue mantle, drunk with the wine of her youth. Meaning is given name. Drunk with the wine of her youth means proud of her youth and beauty. She was very beautiful. She was very young. That beauty and youth made her feel very proud. What made her feel proud? That her beauty and youth made her feel very proud. She was not in a position to listen to others' advice or suggestion. Why? Because that pride, that youth did not allow her to bow down her head before others' elders. Correct? So, drunk with the wine of her youth, she was very proud of her youth. Nobody can change her mind. She stuck on to her point. She lowered. So what did she do? She lowered her lamp. When she reached to him, she lowered her lamp and saw the young face. So whose face was that young face? That is Upagupta. Upagupta was lying. She stumbled over him and she saw his face with the help of a lamp. ಆ ಲ್ಯಾಂಪಿನ ಸಹಾಯದಿಂದ, ಆ ಬೆಳಕಿನ ಸಹಾಯದಿಂದ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಮಲಗಿದ್ದಂತಹ ಆ ಉಪಗುಪ್ತನನ್ನು ನೋಡ್ತಾಳೆ ಅವಳು. ಯಂಗ್ ಫೇಸ್, ಹೇಗಿದೆ ಅದು ಫೇಸ್ ನೋಡಿ, ಆಸ್ಟರ್ಲಿ ಬ್ಯೂಟಿಫುಲ್. It was a simple face. Severely, austerely, is it given there meaning? See that in the next page, is it given? Austerely beautiful means reflecting the beauty of ascetic. The face is the index of mind. He was very kind, he was very merciful, he had forgiving eyes. That nature is reflected through his face. So austerely beautiful face. What kind of face? Young face, austerely beautiful, severely beautiful, highly beautiful. ಸರಳವಾಗಿರ್ತದೆ, ತುಂಬ ಸುಂದರವಾದಂತಹ ಆ ಸನ್ಯಾಸಿಯ ಮುಖವನ್ನು ನೋಡ್ತಾಳೆ ಅವಳು. ಯಾವುದರ ಬೆಳಕಿನಿಂದ? ಆ ಲ್ಯಾಂಪಿನ ಬೆಳಕಿನಿಂದ. ಲ್ಯಾಂಪ್ ಯಾಕೆ ತಗೊಂಡು ಹೋದ್ದು? ಅವಳಿಗೆ ಬೇಕು ನಡಿಲಿಕ್ಕೆ. ಐ ಥಿಂಕ್ he got. Next, she said, lowering the lamp, she asked, forgive me, pardon me, forgive me, ಕ್ಷಮಿಸಿಬಿಡು ನನ್ನನ್ನು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಾಳೆ ಅವಳು. ಯಂಗ್ ಅಸೆಟಿಕ್, ಅಸೆಟಿಕ್ ಮೀನ್ಸ್ ಹರ್ಮಿಟ್, ಅಸೆಟಿಕ್ ಮೀನ್ಸ್ ಸನ್ಯಾಸಿ. ಯಂಗ್ ಅಸೆಟಿಕ್ ಹೂ ಇಸ್ ಉಪಗುಪ್ತ. ದಟ್ ಮೀನ್ಸ್ ವಾಟ್ ಡಿಡ್ ಶಿ ಸೇ? ಫರ್ಗಿವ್ ಮೀ, ಕ್ಷಮಿಸಿಬಿಡು ನನ್ನನ್ನು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಾನೆ, ಕ್ಷಮಿಸಿ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ. ಫರ್ಗಿವ್ ಮೀ, ಯಂಗ್ ಅಸೆಟಿಕ್, ಸೆಡ್ ದ ವುಮನ್, ವಾಸವದತ್ತ. ಗ್ರೇಷಿಯಸ್ಲಿ ಕಮ್ ಟು ಮೈ ಹೌಸ್, ಶಿ ಸೆಡ್. She invited Upagupta to her house. How? Graciously, kindly, ಬನ್ನಿ ನನ್ನ ಮನೆಗೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಾನೆ. Come to my house. Why? Because the dusty earth is not fit bed for you. So you are lying on the dusty ground. It is a dusty place. It is not the best place. It is not the fit bed for you. So I will arrange, I will invite you. You come to my home, my palace. Why? It is not a suitable place, suitable bed for you, not a fit bed for you. So I will provide you all those things. She invited whom? Upagupta. The dusty earth is not fit bed for you. That means she was rich. So she had all the facilities in her house. She needed it. That is reflected, richness is reflected, wealth is reflected through her comforts. But she needed it. But he was ascetic. He didn't need anything other than the minimum comforts. No, he didn't want any comforts. Correct? Now, the young ascetic answered. What was the response of young ascetic Upagupta? The young ascetic Upagupta answered, woman, go on your way. You continue. Don't disturb me. The sense is, don't disturb me. You continue in your own way. Go on your way. ನೀನು ಹೋಗಿಲ್ಲಿಂದ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಾನೆ. I think he got. Correct? Now come to the next stanza. When the time. What was the answer given by Upagupta? When the time is ripe, I will come to you. What did he say? When the time is ripe. So this time, now it is not the right time. Ripe means what? Ripe means favorable, fit, suitable. It is not the suitable time. Now you does she want the help of hermit? No. Correct? She was not in a position to receive the help. He said, when the time is ripe, when the time is right, when the time is favorable, I will come to you. My help now, it is of waste. You don't need my help now. I will not come now. I will come to your house when the time is ripe. So, when the time is ripe, I will come to you, he said. ಅವನು ಹೇಳ್ತಾನೆ, ಯಾವಾಗ ಬೇಕೋ ಆಗ ಬರ್ತಾನೆ, ಈಗ ಬೇಡ ನಿನಗೆ, ನನ್ನ ಸಹಾಯ ನಿನಗೆ ಬೇಡ, ಅದರಿಂದ ಬೇಕಾಗುವಾಗ ನಾನು ಬರ್ತಾನೆ. Suddenly, when he told so, suddenly the black night showed its teeth. This is the warning. Suddenly the black night showed its teeth, means figure of speech used here. Black night, it's an idea, it has no life, non-living thing, but the poet gave life to the black night. Black night has no life, but the poet gave life to the black night, so it is personification. What is personification? It is the personification is a figure of speech where an inanimate, a non-living thing is given life and described as if it has life. ಜೀವ ಇಲ್ಲದಕ್ಕೆ ಜೀವ ಕಲ್ಪಿಸಿ ಹೇಳುವಂಥದ್ದು, ಜೀವ ಇರುವಂಥದ್ದು ಏನು ಕೆಲಸ ಮಾಡ್ತದ ಹಾಗೆ ಮಾಡಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಕೊಡುವಂಥದ್ದು, ಜೀವ ಕೊಡುವಂಥದ್ದು. ಸೊ ಬ್ಲ್ಯಾಕ್ ನೈಟ್ ಶೋಡ್ ಇಟ್ಸ್ ಟೀತ್. How? In a flash of lightning. What is lightning? Gudugu, minchu, minchu. Thunder, gudugu. Lightning, minchu. So, andre, there was a flash of lightning. Suddenly, there was a flash of lightning. Then, the storm growled. Storm means birugali. Storm growled, garjistade. From the corner of the sky means something is going to happen, something dangerous is expected in future. That is a warning. The storm growled from the corner of the sky and the woman trembled. So what was the result of that? Two things, one lightning and growling sound, and the woman trembled. Sure, there was a sure. In fear of some unknown danger. So what did she expect? She expected an unknown danger. In future there will be an unknown danger. So that danger is expressed through lightning and growling. Correct? Thunder and lightning. There was a thunder, there was a lightning. So it indicates that there is a dangerous thing in future. So she expected that one. Correct? I think he got. Is it clear? Now we discussed the five stanzas. That is, first stanza. In the first stanza, Upagupta was lying by the city wall of Mathura. It was a dark night, and he heard tinkling anklets, sound of tinkling anklets, and he woke up. He saw a woman carrying what? A light lamp. Then who was that? It was a dancing girl. She was very rich, she was young, she was beautiful. She asked him to come to her house. Why? Because the dusty ground was not fit place for him, but he rejected. He said that it was not the right time. He would come to her house when the time is ripe. Suddenly there was a change in nature. They could experience what? Lightning and thunder, and it was a signal of danger, dangerous situation, dangerous future. Okay, learn this, and tomorrow next period we shall continue. Sai Ram.